What is the correct course of action in this situation? I reduce my speed. I avoid abrupt steering movements. I brake hard. You are driving a motor vehicle with a manual gearbox. What style of driving results in higher fuel consumption within a built-up area? Accelerating heavily. Driving in a high gear. Driving at high engine speed. What is the rule of thumb when calculating the braking distance for evasive braking on a dry, even and asphalted roadway? Speed in km/h/10 x speed in km/h/10/2. Speed in km/h. I drive as far to the left as possible. I continue driving just as before. I reduce my speed further. I drive as far to the left as possible. You are driving a motor vehicle with a manual gearbox. How can you achieve efficient fuel consumption? By adopting an even driving style with low engine speeds. By having the proper tire inflation pressure. When accelerating, changing the gears upwards as late as possible. When accelerating, changing the gears upwards as late as possible. What can be caused if the road surface suddenly becomes worse? Changes in tire noise. Longer reaction distance. Danger of sliding and skidding. What dangers can arise if this traffic sign is ignored? The vehicle could suffer a broken axle or spring fracture. The load could be damaged. The vehicle could go into a skid and endanger oncoming traffic. I pass quickly through the junction. I perform an emergency stop. I brake slightly. What should you anticipate in this situation? Fast oncoming traffic cutting the corner. Wild animals crossing the road. Slow-moving vehicle on my side of the road. What can you do to help protect the environment? I should avoid driving at flat-out speed. Driving in crowded city centers. Driving short distances. Where must you be prepared to encounter sudden fog? In marshy areas. Near lakes. Near rivers. In marshy areas. What must you be aware of here? That your vehicle will not be seen in time. That the traffic lights are hardly distinct from the colored signs. That you only detect oncoming vehicles after it is too late. That you only detect oncoming vehicles after it is too late. Ahead of the motorbike, a car is seeking to reverse on the road. What should you anticipate? That my braking distance will be longer than normal. That the car continues to reverse. That the motorbike will suddenly brake. Yellow car. Green vehicle. Light blue car. It starts raining. Why must you immediately increase the safe distance? Because the brakes react more quickly. Because visibility may become worse, and the windscreen wipers do not immediately provide a clear field of vision. Because a greasy film may form which increases the braking distance. I steer to the left. I perform an emergency braking maneuver. I hold the steering wheel straight and firmly. You increase your speed from 50 km per hour to 100 km per hour. How is the braking distance changed according to the rule of thumb? It is quadrupled from 25 meters to 100 m. It is halved from 50 meters to 25 meters. It is doubled from 15 meters to 30 meters. Where can used oil, lubricants and car batteries be taken to be disposed of properly? In the household waste. To recycling centers. To car workshops. Why does driving on this stretch of road require greater alertness on the part of the motorist? The road surface is uneven and road grip varies. A tram might come from the opposite direction. Driving on the tracks is dangerous. What amount of side clearance must you maintain when overtaking pedestrians and cyclists? I must maintain a minimum side clearance of 1.5 meters within a built-up area. Maintain a minimum side clearance of 2.0 meters outside of a built-up area. Maintain a minimum side clearance of 1.0 meters within a built-up area. What must you anticipate in this situation? My vehicle may be forced leftwards. The truck ahead of me may be forced rightwards. When driving into the wind-protected area alongside the truck, my vehicle may be forced rightwards. I reduce my speed further. I continue driving just as before. I drive as far to the left as possible. What must you anticipate with this road sign? Vehicles in front of me might slow down sharply. You are nearing a hard right-hand bend. Oncoming traffic might cut the corner. Where is fast driving particularly dangerous? At level crossings. At blind corners. At road narrowings. What can regular vehicle maintenance help achieve? Keeping emission levels low. Keeping fuel consumption low. Ensuring road safety. What should you consider after starting your vehicle? I should, if possible, allow the engine of the stationary vehicle to warm up. Drive at low engine speeds. Drive off as promptly as possible. What is the correct course of action in this situation? I brake hard while in the bend. I reduce my speed. I avoid jerky steering movement. What must you anticipate here? That you may be dazzled by the low-lying sun. A reduced amount of side clearance from oncoming traffic. Pedestrians on the carriageway. The road is icy for a short distance. What should you avoid here, if possible? Steering wheel movements. Braking. What must you remember when refueling? Do not refuel when the tank is full and the nozzle has switched off. Do not breathe in any fuel fumes. Fill up to the brim if possible. When is it sensible to switch off a combustion engine? During lengthy waits at rail crossings. When loading and unloading the vehicle. When stopping at intersections with a stop sign. What must you anticipate in this situation? My vehicle may be forced leftwards. When driving into the wind-protected area alongside the truck, my vehicle may be forced rightwards. The truck ahead of me may be forced rightwards. What are the effects of driving at high speed in motor vehicles with combustion engines? The noise level is reduced. Fuel consumption increases. The emission of harmful substances increases. I pass quickly through the junction. I brake slightly. I perform an emergency stop. You are approaching a sharp left-hand bend at high speed. Why is it necessary to reduce your speed before you have actually reached the bend? Because otherwise my vehicle could slide off to the left along the bend, could begin to skid, could slide off to the right along the bend. You are traveling at 50 kilometers per hour and have a reaction time of 1 second. What is the reaction distance according to the rule of thumb? You are driving in darkness on a well-constructed main road, using your dipped headlights. Within what distance must you be able to stop? Within the range of the side lights, main beam lights, dipped headlights. What can help save fuel and reduce pollution? Using public transport, a bicycle or walking, wherever possible. Paying attention to the fuel consumption of a motor vehicle when buying it. Contributing to a constant flow of traffic by thinking ahead and driving correspondingly. Where is it permitted to flash headlights to indicate your intention to overtake? In darkness outside built-up areas. In daylight outside built-up areas. In darkness in built-up areas. Why is it dangerous to overtake on this snow-covered carriageway? Because parts of the carriageway may be iced over. Because my vehicle may skid. Because my vision may become even more negatively affected. Driving within a built-up area, you want to overtake a cyclist. What is the minimum space to the side that you must maintain? When should you switch off the engine to save fuel and reduce pollution? When you stop at a stop sign. When you have to wait in a traffic jam for a long time. When you have to wait at level crossings or building sites. What measures help protect the environment? Air conditioning systems. Low viscosity engine oil. Low resistance tires. Where must you particularly reckon with dirt on the roadway and therefore danger of skidding? At inner-city crossroads. At junctions with farm tracks. Near construction sites. What must you be prepared for in this situation? Police regulating traffic. An uneven and dirty roadway. Workers and construction equipment on the roadway. An uneven and dirty roadway. the tractor, the red car, oncoming traffic. You want to overtake cyclists on a narrow road. The width of the road means that the maximum possible space between them and the car is 50 centimeters. What should you do? I give a short warning signal before overtaking. I overtake at a moderate speed. I refrain from overtaking. Why might taking the right turn be dangerous here? Because vehicles emerging from the side street could start to skid. Because I might possibly not be able to stop in time if pedestrians are crossing the side street. Because my vehicle might start to skid if I take the turn too fast. How do you take tight bends? Only accelerate again when the road straightens out. Reduce speed only when you reach the center of the bend. Reduce speed before reaching the bend. Your vehicle loses oil. How much drinking water can be polluted by a single drop of oil? 1 liter. 600 liters. 50 liters. When driving outside of a built-up area, what minimum safety distance should you maintain between you and the vehicle ahead? 1/2 of the speedometer reading in meters. 1/3 of the speedometer reading in meters. 1/5 of the speedometer reading in meters. You are driving a motor vehicle with a manual gearbox. When driving, what can cause avoidable noise pollution? Driving fast in low gears. Defective silencer. Heavily accelerating unnecessarily.